morning, GC. I'm Oz Williams here with Carrie Cabot to bring you today's news.
Any sophomores, juniors, or seniors will have an opportunity to take the ACT during the school day on Tuesday, October 1st, and GCHS is offering a discounted rate. You can take the test for just $42.50. If you're interested, you can sign up during lunch this week at the table in the Commons. You do have to have the $42.50 with you when you sign up.
Football season kicks off tomorrow night. Our Eagles head to Murray for a 7 o'clock kickoff. The spirit theme is tropical. That means to show up in your beach gear. We're talking grass shirts, coconuts, Hawaiian shirts. Be ready for the beach.
Picture Day is coming up on Tuesday. Make sure to look your best. Again, Picture Day is this coming Tuesday.
During the break, our new principal, Miss Gregory, joins us in the GCTV studio.
Plus, Alex Ramage has your Eagle Sports action.
Good morning, GCTV. I'm Ethan Stanford with your August 22nd birthdays.
Hey GC, tonight our volleyball team begins its season. They will be on the road against Carlisle. First serve is set for 6 o'clock. Also, boys soccer team is looking to bounce back after losing their opener against St. Mary. They go on the road tonight to face Christian County. That game will kick off at 7:30. That's all for today's sports action. For GCTV, I'm Alex Ramage.
One of the biggest changes to our school this year is the fact we have a new principal, Miss Gregory, who joins us now in the studio. Thanks for taking the time to be here with us.
Absolutely.
We know you've been the principal of Cinsonia Elementary since 2013. What made you decide that GCHS was the place for you?
Well, Dylan, I started my career as a high school teacher and was an assistant principal before we moved to Graves County. And so the timing was just right for my family for me to be able to take on. The responsibilities of a high school principal are a lot more sometimes involved time-wise and people-wise than elementary school, but I thought the time was right for me, and my husband supported that decision, and so I'm super excited to be here.
I know it's early in the school year, but what have you seen as the biggest difference between elementary and high school levels?
There really isn't a huge difference as far as how I'm a leader. The biggest difference is just the sheer size. I've got over 1,200 students here, and I just had a little over 300 at Cinsonia, so that's the biggest difference.
That's good. What are some of your plans and goals for GCHS this year and beyond?
Definitely my first goal and plan is just to get to know the students and staff. I think that's huge. You can't move a school if you don't know who you're working with. But at the end of the day, another reason that I chose to come to the high school level is I'm super passionate about students knowing what they want to do with their lives. And if nothing else, at Grace County High School, we provide a lot of experiences for students, both in our pathways and internships. For them, if nothing else, I want you to be able to leave and know what you don't want to do, right? So I was one of those students who, I was a good student in high school. I felt like I knew what I wanted to do, but my major changed about 3 times in college. And so I don't want that for you guys. I want you guys to at least be able to narrow it down by the time you leave of what you want to do.
Many students have been wondering about assemblies, things like when are we going to have them or what will they consist of?
Right, so if you know anything about my history as far as a leader in schools, that's big with me. Is student assembly. Student-led schools are huge, and I want Grace County High School to be student-led. And so with that comes responsibility of actually leading and participating in those assemblies. And so we're definitely going to try those this year. But it's going to be up to the students and their participation and leadership if we get to continue those or not, if that makes sense, because I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste students' time or teachers' time of going into a student-led assembly and students doing this. right?
Yeah.
I mean, even at pep rallies, we got to do it right. And I want this place to be awesome, to be full of life. I want it to be the best 4 years of your life. And if you've only got 1 year left with me, I want to make a difference there too. So I'm definitely up for it. I just want it done right.
I know we didn't meet with our homerooms in the beginning of this year, but are they completely gone, or are there plans to use them eventually?
So I would ask you back that question. I'm not putting you on the spot, but the first question I asked about homerooms was what was the purpose? And so a lot of admin and teachers, they didn't even know the purpose anymore of homerooms. So I feel like if there's not a purpose to something, why are we doing that? Does that make sense? So last year, Dylan, what did you do in homeroom?
We would go in there and just discuss things about meeting for like schedules and things
Okay,
like that.
so you met often or like once a year?
Probably about twice a year.
Yeah, so I'm thinking things like that could we not do in first blog? So it might flop this year and we go back to homerooms, but that's really my thing is what was the purpose in doing that. So we felt like those things like giving out schedules and meetings could be done in first block. And again, I'll be the first to admit if I've made a wrong choice, but that's why we made that choice. And we made it as a team. I don't sit in my office and just make decisions.
Are there any other messages you would like to share with the students?
No, I'm just super excited to be here. I think I've already said it probably 3 times in this interview, but I'm here for kids. I'm here for students. The young adults who walk these hallways, every decision I make is going to be in their best interest. And you're going to see me involved. You're going to see me in and out of classrooms. But that's because I take a lot of pride in what's going to go on in these walls. And so for me to improve the school, I've got to be in and about with everybody. So you're rarely going to find me in my office.
Again, thanks for taking the time to join us in the studio. And for GCTV, I'm Dylan Norton.
Good morning, GC. I'm John Stanley here to bring you today's news. Thursday, we're going to have a low of 70, high 86 with a 80% chance of rain. Friday, it's a low of 66, high 83, 30% chance of rain. Then Saturday, we got 62 as the low, 83 is the high, with a 20% chance of rain. For GCTV, I'm John Stanley. Have a great day.
If you like to spend your nights cheering on Eagle sports, make sure you buy an all-sports student pass. You can get those from Coach Elliott for $25.
The bass fishing team has a meeting coming up. This is for current members and anyone interested in joining the team. That meeting will be Monday at 3:30 in the middle school library.
The Taste of Italy combined art and culinary trip is coming in April 2020. You do not have to be a student in one of those programs to attend the trip. There are informational meetings that are mandatory. One of those meetings is coming on Tuesday. It will be from 3:30 to 4 o'clock in the art room. If you have any questions, please see Mr. Woodruff.
Starting in September, the cafeteria will be offering free snacks for anybody staying after school for tutoring. The snacks will be available in the cafeteria from 3:20 p.m. until 3:20 p.m. All you have to do is grab a snack bag and write your name on the sheet.
The leadership class is hosting a blood drive. That's coming up on September 6th. Stay tuned for sign-up info in the next few days. That's all for today's news. For GCTV, I'm Oscar Williams.
And I'm Carrie Cavett.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.